Okay, now when it's a new moon, it increases. Okay? When it's a full moon, it decreases. Okay, and it's not flat, it's round. All right? It says the month is called after her name, increasing wonderfully in her changing, being an instrument of the armies above, shining in the firmament of heaven. You see? The heathen went based on, all right, a sun worship and based upon the sun, man. Come on, man. So we have more than enough in the scriptures to prove that we went based upon a lunar calendar, man. In that day one of a Hebrew month was the new moon. All right? As a matter of fact, let's get Psalms 104. And it's simple. I mean, the simplicity in the Messiah is not something that you have to go super deep into, man. Psalms 104:19. He appointed the moon for season. All right. The sun knoweth his going down. Look that up in the NLT. You dudes are bugging, man. You made the moons to mark the season, and the sun knows when to set. So the sun didn't determine our seasons, man. It was the moon. So this dude is off, man.
For this reason I command, this is verse 38. For this reason I command and testify to thee, that thou mayest testify to them. For after thy death thy children will disturb, so that they will not make the year 364 days only. And for this reason they will go wrong as to the new moons, the seasons, Sabbaths, and festivals, and they will eat all kinds of blood with all kinds of flesh. Right? So basically what is happening is brothers are keeping an abominable day according to the book. You continue reading in the book of Jubilee. You know, why? Because they're following the nations. The balancing of an egg, that was never a tradition of Israel. That came from the Chinese. However they came up with that, somebody probably slipped upon it and they did that. You know, but that's not a tradition of Israel, balancing an egg or balancing a broom. That caught on to Americans years later after the Chinese did it, you know. But brothers would rather follow the Chinese tradition rather than to follow what the Most High gave us, right?
And we just read what the Most High gave us.
So let's get into the New Years, the years that the Most High gave us. Look counting, and I'm going to show you exactly.
But there you have it.
20th.
There you have it out of their mouth. They're teaching out of the book of Enoch and the book of Jasher, man. All right, let's get the judgment on that. So we don't have enough in the Torah to give us a foundation of how to go about keeping our holy days. We have to go into the book of Jasher and the book of Enoch, which I believe is also somewhere in the book of Enoch that Nimrod, killed Esau. Or Esau killed Nimrod, one of those, but they weren't even around at the same time. Let's get it in a red letter. Let's see here. Revelation 22:18, for I testify unto every man that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book, if any man shall add unto these things, God shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book. And if any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecy, okay, God shall take away his part out of the book of life. Barack Obama's the Antichrist. You guys teach a lot of weirdo stuff, man. Okay? And out of the holy city and from the things that are written in this book, man. So you're adding to the book as As I said earlier, none shall want her mate. Okay? You can't mate this book, all right, with the book of Enoch. Now, when you get the book of Jude, you get that real quick. When you get the book of Jude, it does let you know in verse 14, and Enoch, also the seventh from Adam, prophesied of these things, saying, Behold, the Lord cometh with 10,000s of saints to execute judgment upon all, and to convince all right, that are ungodly among them, all right, to all their ungodly deeds, which they have ungodly committed, and of all their hard speeches, which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. Okay, and what was happening around the time of Enoch? You can see it lead up, okay, until the time of Noah. The sons of God were going off, man. Remember, this is the descendant of Adam. It said the seventh from Adam. Okay, he's of the seed of Adam through Seth. One of the sons of God, man, who he stuck to the righteous way. Learned man, dedicated one. You see? He prophesied of the coming of the Lord to destroy. All right, Jake, man. To destroy, wickedness, man, and sinners. All right, so we know that there is a book of Enoch. All right, but what's written in there is not needed to ultimately attain salvation. What's needed to attain salvation is written in what we have. Okay, the Bible, the Old, the New Testament, including the Apocrypha. That's it. That's all we need to get understanding of everything needed to receive salvation. Now, is there more? Absolutely. All right. As a matter of fact, let's get that real quick. I believe it's in the book of Sirach. 42 and 17. The Lord have not given power to the saints to declare all his marvelous works. All right, so right now, certain things are hidden. Okay, we have a very abridged. Okay, you got to think, when Moses went up, all right, to the mountain and received the first 5 books, all right, he went, the chariot, he received the law, all right, he received the Torah, okay? He broke it down in a way that is written for us is in a way that you have to be spiritual. You have to have a key, you got to have the key, which ultimately, to get that hidden manna, to put the pieces together. In the beginning, a lot of people think that it's just saying in the beginning, God created the heaven and earth. But when you go into that, that's the history of our legacy as the sons of God, starting in the heavens under H.O.D.C, in order. Gives you the history of Adam. It goes into us being, made a nation, Abraham, all of that. Okay, that's what's needed ultimately, with the prophets, the prophecies, H.O.D.C coming, the prophecies of his second coming. All of those things are enough, all right, for the gospel to be preached. You see, all of these extra things, as a matter of fact, get Ecclesiastes 12. And further by these, my son, be admonished of making many books. There is no end. There's all types of stuff. You got the Gospel of Thomas, where the H.O.D.C supposedly pushed somebody off of a balcony and then blamed it on somebody else. Nah, man, all of this stuff is absolutely madness. Okay, there's so much more that we're gonna get. We're gonna see the whole story. We're gonna see everything as a movie. But all of those writings, everything, and I speak as a man when I say that, I believe that the Heavenly Father is going to show us, the beginning, okay, to the end as it was written, and we're going to get all of those writing backs. We're going to get all of the understanding of who we were in our past lives. We're going to get our true names. It's going to be so much more, all right, but we have to go through the straight gate to get all of that. So we'll see what was really written in the book of Enoch. We'll see Enoch's actual walk. We'll see him getting beamed up. We're going to get all of that, man. But be admonished, my son, of making many books. All right? There is no end. And much study is a weariness of the flesh. Okay? The Holy Scriptures have everything we need to understand Enoch, to understand Noah. Okay? To put the pieces together, man, through the Spirit. But my child, let me give you further advice. This is advice from Solomon, man. Be careful of writing, for writing books is endless, and much study wears out the flesh, man. And all of these different books that have just popped up out of nowhere in history that have been attributed with the Bible, it bugs people out, man. 5,000 feet men, that's in the book of Enoch. You mean there were men on the earth that were 5,000 feet tall? Now we know men were bigger, taller, but damn. The Nephilim seed, all of that madness. That's unscriptural, man. The Nephilim are ultimately the fallen ones, Adam's descendants who fell from their grace through following idols, man. To follow the idols of the other nations, man. Laying with their women, the same thing Solomon did, the same thing that happened at the time of Nehemiah. Okay, all Nephilim means is the fallen ones, man. The scriptures say, ye are gods, but ye shall fall like men. But anyway, I just wanted to touch on that. I didn't want to go too deep into it, but just to show you, as the scriptures say, mark them, which cause divisions, man. And this is an offense. Romans 16 and 17, now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause divisions and offenses contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them. All right, brethren, be followers together of me, and mark them, all right, which you have, walk so as ye have us as an example. So you mark, all right, our people who going off, and avoid them, okay? And then you mark the perfect man in the spirit, man, who are examples of teaching sound doctrine, man, and faithful in going out, even in their older age. All right? Because you go to the H.O.D.C camp. Now, they got brothers going out, right? But you don't never see really their elders going out. David was on the battlefield with his men.
Chapter 46 of the Book of Jasher. This LibriVox recording is in the public